A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
High noon and welcome in. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Orts, and Mason Crosby is dad seasoning it up here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. What's up, Mace?
What's up? Yeah, I got some new gear from my buddy Pat O'Donnell. He sent some new hats, so I'm rocking them. These are my golf hats. I am ready to roll. We got gray, white, black, green. No, you can get
since
some.
I don't golf, I don't get one. I don't get one since I don't golf. It's cool.
They have a
website.
Cool. You can go buy them.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you didn't buy them, bro.
Well, yeah. Did you play? Were you a teammate of Pat O'Donnell?
Oh, high noon firing.
Yeah,
right
fires.
Here.
Like, I'll send you
if
one.
I had trained,
what color do you like?
Purple. If I had trained to be a long snapper for years and years, maybe I could have been a teammate of Pat O'Donnell.
Well, we talked about that. Yeah, you said of all the positions, you think you could have been a long snapper. Yeah,
I do. I mean, well, I couldn't have been anything else.
Tommy, do I need to get you one, or we're not?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Whoa.
I mean, this is just everything's gonna blow. You guys are so jinxing everything. I hate this.
I won't get you one. Maybe I've been telling them they need to have like bro season, all these things.
God, I'd rather have the dad hats. Bro season.
Yeah,
you'd
be a bro. Yeah, you'd wear a bro season hat for sure.
God.
We are the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Lots to talk about today. Javon Bullard hates the Bears. Tiger Woods was looking at his phone. Ed Policy made up his mind about 10 years ago that Matt LaFleur was going to be his forever coach. But we got to start. We have some really, really tough, rough news that we got to start with, that we got to figure out how we're going to deal with this. Mason, the Brewers have lost a baseball game.
Yeah, I mean, they can't score runs.
Okay?
Yeah, I mean, their bats
got to score four, right?
They can't score runs. Yeah, if they can't score more than four, they're going to be awful this year, and they proved that yesterday.
It's just, I love that you live text with the game. I love because we're sitting there and we're watching. I was watching here in the station, and I know that everyone. Like, I immediately just wanted to go to our group chat to see who was going to text professional hitter first.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Deep center. It is back and gone. They've got the lead.
Oh, Bill. I mean, that was my first thought.
I mean, it was awesome.
It was an awesome moment, right? And
I'm sitting there like, Terang hasn't gotten a hit. I'm like, oh, he's going to break his streak. He gets a double, and then professional hitter Bill Contreras comes up and sends it home. As soon as that happened, I'm like, oh, well, this game's over. They're going to win this thing, no doubt.
Well, and I think I probably contributed a little bit to jinxing it with talking about the bullpen yesterday, and Aaron Ashby gives up the homer. Trevor McGill gives up the run in the ninth inning. Mitch, were you not a little bit thinking, why is Abner Uribe not pitching in the ninth inning when McGill would pitch on back-to-back days? And I understand the game was tied, and maybe that's a quote-unquote closer situation, but Uribe also has had the day off the day before and is probably being groomed to be the next closer of this baseball team.
Yeah, I mean, the Brewers in the big picture have the luxury of having two closers on their roster. I mean, McGill and Uribe are both high-level, all-star quality closers. I guess, they do say that closers from time to time do, when they pitch, back-to-back days, that they feel stronger and they like that. But you're right. I mean, Uribe was available. So it was a little confusing there why Uribe was out there. But I can't really quibble with that. And I think the question is more for McGill. Like, how does McGill feel? Does he feel stronger pitching on back-to-back days? Does he feel better? And if he doesn't, I think that, that's a question that Murphy needs to answer.
Well, and I just wanted to thinking now McGill is unavailable today, right? Because he's pitched back-to-back days. If you would have had Uribe, you could have emergency used Uribe today and still had McGill ready as well. It just back-to-back days this early in the year doesn't make much sense to me during that. So, but
you should manage this team probably.
Oh God, Murph.
Murph. Look at you second guessing Murph already 4 games in. It's like, man, you're just going after the guy.
I mean, the crew, the pitching staff looks great. Kyle Harrison, thank you, Boston. Like that was awesome to see.
Yep. Again,
Caleb Durbin, by the way, is 0 for 14. Still,
relax. We can't Caleb Durbin a meter this show.
Crosby,
like I will not stand for it.
Yeah, like
no.
Durbin might not get a hit all year, Mason.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm fine with that. Like, are we not? I mean, that's a win, right?
That's
a win for the Brewers organization and for the fans. Like,
right, but we're not anti Caleb Durbin. Like,
no, and I don't wish
him
ill. I don't wish him ill, but I do think like it's as fans of a team, you're like, hey, that was probably a good move. Now, like whenever you're looking at it, or are the Brewers just that type of team that they squeeze out some really, some good things out of players? We can look at it in a positive note. It doesn't have to be about Caleb Durbin struggling. It can be more like, hey, the Brewers, like they got value from him and they were able to like get more out of him than other team would, than another team. And then we got to look at what Kyle Harrison did yesterday. I want to ask y'all, what do you think about his first start? Obviously, like, he gave up 4 hits, but I mean, a 1.8 ERA. I mean, I would say that's a good start, right? Like he had a good first outing.
Yeah, I'm getting sick of first inning homers. I mean, that it's just like 40% of the last 10 Brewers
Not
games.
even first inning leadoff homers, right?
Yeah, I mean, because Michael Busch did it twice in that Cubs series, right? Did he do it twice or 3 times? I can't remember now. At least twice. They did it on opening day. They did it again yesterday, and I feel like Ohtani did it at some point in that Dodgers series.
Well, Brewers are just like Scotty Scheffler. They just want to feel something. They just have to feel it early. And like they're just empty shells until like, all right, they get hit in the mouth with a leadoff home run. And then they're like, okay, we feel something now. We can play some baseball.
If Pat Murphy gets arrested this year, like the rest of the league better be terrified. At that point.
So we joke about this, but going back to Kyle Harrison and looking at 8 strikeouts to 1 walk, that's one of the most impressive things is that, yes, we don't want the leadoff home run. It puts your team in a hole, and the bats were kind of quiet last night. But for that to be the only run he gave up in 5 innings, 4 total hits, but the 1 walk, to me, Mason, when you have a young pitcher, you never know what his nerves are going to be pitching, for real for the first time with his new squad, to strike out 8 and to only walk 1 guy. Like that is, if you sign me up for this, Kyle Harrison, and I'm in for it for the whole year.
Gosh, 3-1 looks so awful though. Now I'm like, gosh, it just looks so much better with that 0 there, but
it does.
So tonight I could see them going and, getting 10 runs tonight. Right. Like,
right. That's how it works. Right.
I do want to talk a little bit about, we got Woodruff, on the bump tonight. So like, are we feeling optimistic about, what he's going to bring? I mean, what was he throwing in spring ball? Did he throw much? Like, did we see
he threw and the problem was, Mace, remember his last start, like by the 4th inning, he was down to like 87, 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's his velocity is going to be the question, right? Can he bring the juice?
I think that it's something that you can go back to last year, right? July 7th, Brandon Woodruff made his return, and the Brewers proceeded to have the most insane stretch of baseball for the next month and change. I think that the Andrew Vaughn timing, the trade was the exact same time as well. But the clubhouse definitely rallies behind this guy. And I think you could probably speak about something to that too, Mason, where, you think of Aaron coming back for Chicago the last week of the season.
For sure.
It does something to a clubhouse when you have a veteran who's been down. He was out. He wanted to pitch in postseason baseball last year, wasn't fully healthy enough to do it, but the guys have to get up for the most tenured Brewer on the team right now, who is a bona fide leader in that clubhouse.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, right? That he's going, when he steps on the mound, you can tell he's working. He's trying to be available all the time. Like he seems to be that type of guy on this team where everybody, just looks to him. Okay, we're going to go how Woodruff goes, right? This is that type of player. Even if he's not like available, I feel like he's still probably that guy in the clubhouse that is just leading from within, doing those basic things. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. What do you think about the over under? I saw 7.5. I'm bumping the over on that.
Okay, so I just had an idea.
Well, Shane McClanahan's really good though.
I just had an idea that we should do a hit parlay to start the show every day.
Ooh,
that was my.
All right, hold on. Tommy, hold that thought. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. You're listening to the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Feel free to give us a call or shoot us a text, 414-677-1250. And as Tommy explains to everybody, the hit parlay that we are going to start engaging in on the show, we want your take too. We want your take. Who do you think we should involve? We might not take your advice. We might take your advice. Sell it to us, though. You can call us or you can shoot us a text. Who you think? Is it Bryce? Another, can you bet specifically that Bryce is going to hit a double? I don't know if you can do that.
Total bases.
Oh, 414-677-1250. Nicely done. All right, so Tommy, set us up on what you're thinking.
I was literally just thinking, just had this idea while on air because you brought up Pato, and I was going to take a look at some of the odds for today. If we did some sort of each one of us picks a player to get a hit, and then do a little parlay to start the show every day with Brewers baseball.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah. Does anyone want to go first on this, or would you rather me kick it off that way?
Well, before you do, let's look at Shane McClanahan. He's a lefty.
Yeah, let's break it down
for the Rays. Last year was 11-2 with a 3.29 ERA.
Jeez.
Struck out 121, had a 1.18 WHIP. So pitched very well. For the Rays, only played in 21 games. Is this no, I'm sorry. Did he miss some time?
McClanahan last year? Yeah, I think so.
No, he didn't play. Yeah, he hasn't actually. He missed the past 2 years. These are his 23 stats. So he pitched in 21, 22, 23.
I like that.
Missed the last 2 years.
Give me this action right now.
And is 33-16 in his career over 3 seasons. Has only started. But he's coming back off of 2 years being gone. He's a 28-year-old lefty. So think about how that affects the starting lineup. Who's going to be in there? Who's going to get a hit off a lefty? And because we got to do our research. If we're going to do this, we got to do it right.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
You can also bet just straight up a double for people at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. So if you like that, and
you talked about it. That was so great. You talked about that yesterday, and then his only hit in the game is a double. And I was just like, oh, my gosh, that's exactly what we talked about.
Has yesterday. To do it. He's got an obligatory double every day. It's kind of insane.
Christian Walker, the first baseman for the Astros, is still with the Astros, right?
Yep.
They are tied. The two of them are tied for the league lead with 4 doubles. So Bryce leads the National League in doubles by himself with 4 doubles. All right, so who wants to kick it off with our parlay of the day?
My easy choice is Bill, professional hitter Bill.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of an easy, it's crazy.
Yes.
Kind of our lineup, a lot of lefties in that lineup. So is it Rengifo? Sorry. I should probably know
that's
that.
I actually was thinking, I'm thinking Rengifo.
Oh, really?
I like that. I was looking at him too.
Do you not like that, Tommy?
No, I have a fun one as well, and I wasn't expecting you to have a fun one. So,
yeah,
I know who you're going. You're going Lockridge, aren't you?
No. Breckenridge.
He's a fun one though. Would you? Hey, when they pinch hit for him last night, I didn't love that. I didn't love the Blake. I don't. I know it's righties lefties, but unless you need a bunt. I don't know that Blake Perkins is ever pinch hitting for anyone in my if I'm the manager, I don't know that I'm ever using him ever on earth as a pinch hitter.
Because we're in a negative tone, before I go to a positive tone, Mitch, are you officially on worried watch for Garrett Mitchell? Because I'm on worried about Garrett Mitchell watch.
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Really?
I know it's 4 games, but
he's my guy.
He's your guy, and I root for him, but I seriously think that
all around or just at the plate?
I think all around, yeah.
You're not sure about his defense either.
I think he's concerned to dive for balls. I think that he's sliding feet first instead of shoulder or, head first. Not that it's really that big of a deal. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but Yeah, I'm a little worried that he's thinking about his game a little too much rather than playing his game.
Can't do that.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. That's all I'm saying. He went 0 for 4 3Ks yesterday. Not
a good game yesterday for sure.
Getting nervous about Garrett Mitchell just a little bit.
I mean, literally, if we're doing a parlay, though, I mean, like I get that a lefty's starting, but he's not going to pitch the whole game. So, I mean, you have to put Bryce Terang in there, right?
Well, I'm not.
For a hit?
I'm not. You're going Bill Contreras.
I got to go with my guy, Bill.
Mitch going Luis Rengifo, and I'm going to ride the hot hand, and I'm putting Joey Ortiz in this parlay, too.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. Against a lefty on top of it. I think Joey Ortiz, the stock is rising right now. He's playing great defense, as we know he can. And on top of it, he's hitting all right in his first games, too. He got the day off yesterday. I think he's going to be hungry.
He didn't play yesterday.
I think he's going to be ready to go. We got plus 200 on Joey Ortiz, Luis Rengifo, Bill Contreras to get a hit, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sports.
I'm surprised it's that low. I would have thought it would have been better odds.
Minus 167.
Bill probably bumps it up a little bit.
Bill is at minus 286, but Luis Rengifo is at minus 230 as well during this.
I feel good about that.
Joey Ortiz at minus 167.
It's probably honestly the pitcher not pitching for 2 years. Like they're like, these guys. The odds are probably in their favor that in their mind that they're going to get some hits off of.
All right.
Who the hold on. You know who the sneaky pick for today is though? Like I know I said Rengifo, but is Gary Sanchez the sneaky pick today, Tommy?
No, I don't think so. I want to see a little more. I love Gary Sanchez, by the way. I was ecstatic that he was going to be the backup. Yep.
Hey.
I'd like to see Frelick kind of get his
start.
bat going a little bit.
I would too. I
wouldn't pick him today.
Right,
in
let's
this parlay,
lock it in.
But I want to see him get that bat hot.
All right, locking it in. Luis Rengifo for Mitch. Mason's got Bill. I got Joey Ortiz.
Okay.
All right.
So we're talking about Luis.
What do we owe you? What do we? Are we all putting in 5 or what are we doing?
Oh, every single day we're gonna bet $5.
500.
Yeah,
500.
Yeah, Crosby, just you'll front us.
I'll
for
front
the
it.
first
Yeah,
1,000.
I'll front it.
The first $1,000 is all fronted by Mason Crosby. Yeah.
We love you, Mason.
But I'm just gonna keep track of
Luis,
it for our purposes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were actually doing.
Yeah. From one.
Sorry, Luis, I don't play games over here.
When I get back, we'll start. I'll drive. I pass downtown on my way from the station home.
Nice.
Like I can run into Pato and play and start placing these.
Yeah, but I like a fantasy running order here and see how we do.
Yeah, I agree. Mason, I don't know if you saw this. From one Luis to another, Luis Matos, outfielder. The Brewers picked him up from the Giants yesterday. A kind of a reserve outfielder, 24-year-old, played the past couple of years with the San Francisco Giants. Last year, hit 221, 8 home runs, 22 RBIs, kind of a part-time player. I was under the impression that whether it was Lockridge or Perkins or Bowers, that even with the Churio injury, the Brewers were probably pretty happy with their outfield. Tommy, do you think this means they're not as happy with their outfield as they could be? Because I mean, is this a Garrett Mitchell question that Matos is ready? And did they assign him to Nashville or is he?
No, he's he's on the 40-man. No, he's not up with the big league club. But I will say that I think Akil Baddoo is actually probably a part in this too. I think Akil Baddoo would have been up with the club if he was healthy.
I agree.
And yeah, I think there is some uncertainty in center field. And I think the Brewers, when Jackson Churio comes back, are going to seriously consider him being the everyday center fielder instead of putting him in left field now, just based on some of the matchups, especially against a righty. I think that they would probably rather have Jake's bat in left field during that time. I thought it was also really weird, Mitch. We had talked about Yelich playing in the outfield early before the season. On Sunday, they used 3 catchers because when Christian Yelich pinch hit, they then actually moved Contreras to catcher, and Yelich was taken out of the lineup. So the Brewers, if they would have tied that game in the top of the 9th inning, like they have the pitcher spot coming up to be the guy to hit because they didn't move. They pinch hit Yelich and they did not put him in the outfield. They took him out of the game again, and they didn't even let him go play left field.
We told you. We told everybody. Tommy, we told everybody. Yelich is not playing the outfield. Like they're doing everything in their power for Yelich to not, but they want to protect his bat. They want him to play 140 games if he can. And the wear and tear of him even playing left field, like it's not worth whatever pressure's on his back, whatever pressure's on his knee. It's not worth it. Like Yelich is not playing the outfield if they can do anything about it.
Yeah, just go ahead and hit 400 this year. Let's have a season. No big deal.
Thank you. Thank you, Mace. Absolutely. So to wrap, it's Contreras, it's Rengifo, it's Ortiz, and the Brewers have entered the loss column. It's a sad day in the state of Wisconsin, but you know what? Today's another day, and today Woody's on the mound, and good things can happen.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get behind Woodruff.
Right?
Let's just ride this thing, even if he's throwing 85-mile-an-hour fastballs. Maybe we'll get to see some of the defense. Yeah, maybe we'll get to see some really good defense out there tonight.
By the way, real quick, I want to break. Tommy, I can't watch the Brewers games, right? Like even though I have Spectrum, when I'm out of market, I can't watch Brewers games, right?
I'm the wrong guy to ask this, Mitch.
I'm pretty sure I had to give some. I was looking at MLB TV and like the Brewers TV over here too.
Yeah, Mason, you got to pay $99.
Well, no, and I started, but like as I'm going through it, it was taking so much time. And then I'm pretty sure they were asking for like blood and like maybe a kid. I don't know what was happening. Yeah, I'm like, what do I have to? What do I have to do? Like by it, like minute 10 of me signing up for this thing, I was like, oh gosh, like all right, I'll do it. I'll do it at another time because I'm running out of time.
I basically set $100 on fire because I was like, well, I'm going to buy it just so I know I have it, and then I just watch every game here anyway. So,
as you knew you would.
Yeah.
All right. So. If anybody out there wants to share their username and password, just text that into the text line. Just kidding, people. Don't do that.
We'll just share passwords. It'd be great.
Unless you want to. You do you. We've got plenty to get to still on the show. Lots of Packers news and notes, as we talked about at the top of the show. Javon Bullard, Ed Policy, Xavier McKinney's likeness was stolen, or his identity or something. I signed Mason Crosby for a car loan last week. No big deal. Right?
Stop it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't put that
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm checking everything. Relax. I'm checking everything. All my passwords just changed. Goodness.
He's Tommy Words. I'm Mitch Nellis. Mason Crosby is here. We're coming right back here on the Mason Crosby Show. This is the Mason Crosby Show. We are on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. Mason here as well. And one of my favorite texts of the day just came in. Tommy in Dallas. He actually wrote Tommy is Dallas, but I think it's Tommy in Dallas. So I've been interacting with all the shows on your station for a couple months now, but I've been disappointed by the lack of response whatsoever. Turns out you guys don't respond if we are texting the wrong number.
I love that.
But now I got it right. I apologize ahead of time for my future remarks. Oh, that is
has he just been like trashing
beautiful.
Us too? Like, you jerks, why did you responding? Like, I hate you so much.
Make sure Mitch plug the number for everyone in case I've been texting the wrong number.
Yeah, make sure you're not texting the wrong number.
I'm going to say it slowly and I'm going to enunciate it. It is 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law talk and text line. We'd love to hear from you. You can give us a call at any time. You can also shoot us texts at any time. Like 414 said, gentlemen, run to Pato with this one. Italy over Bosnia today. With that win, Italy will qualify for the 26 World Cup. I think Italy's like a 220, 230 favorite, though.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big favorite. But if they're going to win the game, who cares? Like, yeah, you're laying odds.
Sure.
But that's a good hit. 414 says, Tommy, when you're betting a player prop for hits, not very smart to take the 9-hitter.
Yeah.
Ortiz has been, I agree. Ortiz has been batting 7th a lot this year.
He batted
I know
8th,
he's the 9-hitter in general. Some 8th.
Yeah, I understand.
But all he needs is one hit.
I understand the odds. Yeah, not in his favor, but that's how much faith I have in Joey Ortiz for the day.
Yeah,
just for
that's
the day.
what we're doing. We're trying to, we're trying to get better odds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're just trying to bump up our number a little bit.
It wouldn't be even plus 200 if it wasn't Joey Ortiz in there. So,
and don't forget that, you know, if you're listening for the first time or you haven't interacted, you can always come to YouTube channel too, where you can see our beautiful faces.
Yeah, YouTube.com.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, go to YouTube.com, go to the Mason Crosby Show and check us out.
Right.
We're on Twitter. We're doing all the things. We're everywhere you want to be.
Ron in Rome says Gary Sanchez was swinging at balls in the dirt last night in the bottom of the 5th. All right. I mean, I just figured against a lefty, he might get a base knock tonight. And Tommy and Dallas, right back. Very interactive of you. Don't be mean. I just plugged in the wrong number off the jump. Not being mean. We're just giving love. Tommy, we're just giving love. It's all love here on the Mason Crosby Show. We are the kindness show of the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We as I said, Mason, I don't know if you know this. When I was doing my daily Facebook videos during pandemic, my sign off was, let's make kindness contagious.
I love it.
Because other things were contagious and we didn't know, whatever. I was like, let's make kindness contagious. So I like to think we are the kindness show.
I can, it's like, we're going to be critical and we're going to like observe and like make our opinions, but like, I'm always going to have a positive spin solution. Like I never want to leave anything at my house, like with Molly, with the kid. Like, it's like, hey, that was not okay what you did. But then it's like, what are we going to like, how can we spin something positively? Because at the end of the day, if we just sit in that negativity, we're not moving forward as people in this world, all those. So if you want to join us in, ripping some things apart at times, but also finding a way to, have that positive solution. We're here for it. And Tommy, that's your cue to,
I hate
TSO.
Chicago.
There you go.
It's like real hate. I can't stand Chicago. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't like the team. I don't like their coach. I just don't bleep about Chicago. When Matt LaFleur was told, F the Packers, F them from Bears head coach Ben Johnson, Javon Bullard replied with, don't let him try that blank on you like that. I don't like that. They got 2 little wins last year, but don't forget who the big brother is. We're still the big brother. They got a long way to go before they can try to blank on us, but we got to show them too. We can't just talk that blank. We've got to be about it. So it's going to be hell next year, man. That comes from Javon Bullard.
With Javon Bullard. Let's
Mason, you have got to absolutely love this.
I love this so much. Yeah. Like, I love how he said, like, LaFleur, like, don't let Ben John know, like we might feel like we've dominated and they're beneath us, but like set that guy straight. Like, I love this. Javon Bullard, he's my guy now. I mean, I'm riding he's what this team needs. Like, we talked about this all last year. You need these guys. Get out in front of it. Don't talk about going undefeated. Don't talk about all those things. Talk about hitting people in the mouth, and you're not going to put up with the nonsense because, like, the Bears got a couple wins, like you said. They came back and beat you in the playoffs, but you have dominated the Bears. And it's going, like, it needs to get back to that, and it's going to happen again. And guys like Javon Bullard are going to lead the way with that, because it's like, this is our show, and we're not gonna take this crap from the Chicago Bears.
No doubt about it. This is the Mason Crosby Show. 414-677-1250. Do you love when your sports, your athletes, the guys you cheer for, when they have a take like this, when they just take the opponent to task, take the rival to task? And I think there's something special here, Mason. It's not even like, Brewers Cubs, I guess, is pretty similar, but it's like, it's not just a random team. Like, it's Ben Johnson has run his mouth. And
he's come
for
at the
someone
Packers,
on the Bears, right? For someone on the Bears, for someone on the Packers to respond and to get everybody fired up this way, man, there is nothing better in sports than healthy rivalry with some violence, with some vitriol.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be kind all the time.
Well, and on top of it, it's like the origins of football, right? Anyone who's ever played the sport at any level, it is, you are at these practices from a young age being told by coaches, like, go out and hit someone, right? Like, that is how you are brought up. And then once you get to the NFL, I assume it becomes this like fraternity and a little more corporate and business. But the origins of football are like, they are not your friend on the other side, Mason.
Well, and here's the thing. Yes, like, because you could end up playing for one of these teams someday, right? Like, I do feel like Packers and Bears don't like trade players a lot. Like, there's not as much movement that way.
So that's a Jonathan Owens.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say Vikings, they were poaching Packers players like for a long time. It feels like it goes that direction a little bit more, but like at the same time, say the stuff. Like, while you're playing on the other team, like, be part of that rivalry. Like, there's no bulletin board material in that rivalry. Everything is. The rivalry speaks for itself. Don't be afraid to speak into it. And who cares? You go out, like, you talk trash to your buddy. I talk trash to guys talk trash to me. We go out on the golf course. You get hit in the mouth. You go back at it the next time. Like, you can't be worried about losing and speaking into that rivalry and talking the trash that needs to be spoken into it from a player perspective. Fans are thinking it. Fans are feeling it. The players need to buy in and dive in. If you are playing for the Green Bay Packers, you better be all in on that rivalry, and you better let those Bears know that you're going to go dominate them every time you step on the field.
So, Mason, I think the counter argument here a little bit, not to get too much into like what the 2026 athlete is like, but like, we hear about like all these guys, whether they played together in college or like in the NBA, especially like guys who played AAU together aren't necessarily going to be rivals on the court. And like with free agency, with teams cutting players and players going to different teams, we got Hargraves now coming over from the Vikings, and it's like those are guys he went to battle with last year. Should he love those guys? And now he's supposed to hate those guys. Like, there is that kind of like dichotomy of, I was over there, or I was, somebody from the Browns comes to the Packers. They just hated the Bengals for 5 years. Now all of a sudden, like, how do you learn to channel rivalry? Now Bullard's been here a couple of years, so it makes sense. Yeah. But in this universe of like, oh, well, we're all a brotherhood, because we're all part of the Players Association, or we're all fighting for, our CTE rights or lawsuit against the league or whatever it is. Like, how do you divide kind of that big picture versus like the everyday, like, these are the teams I hate and these are the guys I want to just like smash their face into the mud?
Sure. Yeah. Like, a Javon Bullard now has experience against the Bears in that rivalry. So it does take you have to feel it and experience it to do that. But like, competition is competition, right? And the best teams I ever was on, like, there was competition within your own team, like, where it's like, I want to I'm going to compete against you, even if you're at a different. I want to show out in practice on this game film where I'm competing against my own teammates at times, right? And like, it doesn't matter if you played against someone in college, if you have siblings or anything like that. Like when you go and play against your brother, when you go play against your friend, you want to go and win. Like that is what the competitive spirit is. And there's no greater spot than that in professional sports. So if you can't buy in, if somebody's going to pay you millions of dollars to come and play at their franchise, you better learn really quick who those rivals are, why they're important, and why you should buy into going out and giving everything you have whenever you play against that team. Because it's important to the fans, it's important to the organization, and it should be important to the players, even if you're there for a year.
Right. And even the best player right now currently on the Green Bay Packers, Micah Parsons, you talk about the best teams have competition within the team, making comments like, I dare you to beat me to the ball, right? Like those.
Goodbye, Rashawn.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Rashawn.
These are the moments that you bring up here, saying the best teams have that competition. Well, the best players bring that too every day.
Yeah, Micah, I love what he's about. Like he is saying, I'm clearly the best. Like I'm the guy.
Yeah.
So you better chase after me. You're probably not going to catch, and be as good as me, but it's going to make you better. And I want that. Yeah. And I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to, if you aren't chasing me, I'm going to make you look really bad. So it's like, those are really good things. It might feel a little uncomfortable, right? Like where it's like, oh my gosh, like I have to compete against my own teammate. But yeah, even if you're not, like if you're an offensive player, I better strain and grind, because there's a respect thing there as well. And you have to earn that respect from your teammates all the time. It's just like gaining and losing weight, right? It takes a lot of time to lose that weight, and like it's a lot of work and effort.
Sure does.
And one thing, like you all of a sudden take a day or 2 days off, and that weight can start coming back pretty fast. So it's a constant thing to have that competitive mindset to earn the respect of your teammates and of the organization and the fans.
This is an extra large.
Mason, I hear what you're saying. What was that, Tommy?
I said this is an extra large, by the way.
Unbelievable.
Half the
Mason, I heard what you're saying, but I'm still going to Pickles tomorrow.
I don't blame you, man. Like vacation, vacation.
Let's go.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Rams on the north side of Milwaukee. Ram, you are first up on the Mason Crosby Show. 414-677-1250.
Great conversation, Mitch, Tommy, and MC3. I'm going to say this to add to it. This competition thing, it even goes to the point, even if, and Mason will agree with this, like if you was that guy and now you're retired and you playing a particular sport, you'd never want to let somebody get the edge.
That's
and
right.
Even if you're the guy on your softball team and everybody know it, you have to set a precedent when you step on the field. And I'm sure Mason agrees with me. Like some of the great things, and I don't know if Mitch and Tommy you listen to, but if you go and listen to some of the podcasts or the stories of Michael Jordan, like his competitiveness, and then you just see these people on the podcast and the way they talk about it, like that was the era I grew up in. I don't care if you're on the playground, you're in the alley playing on a crate, or y'all playing flat. If you that guy, they got to say, oh yeah, that was Mason. Mason was that dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Because then that'll give the other people something. Because somebody want to always come try to knock you off your perch, but you tell no, not today. Maybe not even tomorrow. And I agree with you 100%.
That's right.
I 100%.
Nice.
I love this conversation.
Ram, I love that point about competition, Ram. Thanks so much for the call. And that's right. Like I love that it starts internally. Like it starts, and even in training camp, we hear stories, Mason, about like the offense and the defense when they go to the 2-minute drill, like they want to win. Like they don't want to. Like the defense doesn't want the offense to think that like they can just roll all over them in the 2-minute drill, and vice versa. But then that carries that goes up to the next level when it's a different jersey. When it's not your teammate.
For sure, it's easy to compete against someone with a different jersey on. Like it's easy to go and say, "Hey, I'm gonna like go to battle against this other team." But how do you compete against your own teammates and keep everyone safe? Those are the hard things in a professional setting where it's like, I got to show out, but I also, I need to keep my teammates safe. But again, we go back to Micah Parsons. He has brought something different to this team. He has given that mentality of chase after greatness. Like you might not ever get to where I'm at, but like you're going to land somewhere really good. And like you're going to be an effective part of this team. But if you stop chasing that and you're not pushing to that level that I'm trying to get to, you're going to be left behind, and we have no need for you. And I think that tension is so healthy. Every team that there's been a tension where there's multiple leaders and multiple like alphas that sometimes butt heads, like you can feel that and it's palpable. But at the end of the day, they are pushing each other and pushing the team to get to a higher height. And you have to have that within a locker room.
Couple of texts coming in here on the Nick Law Talking text line. Steve in Germantown says, yes, Javon Bullard needs some attitude, some dog, and I love him backing his coach. When a rookie comes in, they should be immediately indoctrinated into hating the Bears. Another one from the 414.
And Vikings.
And now I'm getting a 20 jersey like yesterday.
There you are.
Nice. I love that.
And another one from the 414. Someone says, Ram calls every day. Is he retired? So congrats on the retirement, Ram. You've just been retired.
He just loves us, and he loves sports. And you know what? Everybody can call every day. We love it. Like everybody should call
Scotty
every day.
Tiffany,
Maybe he's just on his lunch break.
Can you imagine the Tommy and Stalis guys text some random containing opinions on various sports?
I love that. I read that one. Yep.
Someone just wearing it from.
And there's a whole bunch of texts about our kindness as well that we got to get to. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. Mason Crosby in the house. A lot more Packer talk to get to. I want to get back into Brewers. We didn't put it on the rundown, but I did want to talk about Cooper Pratt because I think like signing a guy who's only played Double-A really to an 8-year, $50 million deal. I think that's worth discussing. So we'll get to that in the 1 o'clock hour as well. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Did you pick this?
No.
This is just in the mix?
Yeah.
Todd Rundgren?
Sparky got a new bed thing. Like, I think he had listeners pick. Like, listeners did something. And then,
like, I feel like this song, for those of you on YouTube and on Twitter who don't hear the music, it's Bang on the Drum All Day by Todd Rundgren. I feel like this song has to be like specific for Packers stuff.
Right.
Like, this just can't be in the mix. Like, Mason, when you hear this song, what does it say to you?
It's Packers games. Yeah.
Right. No doubt. Right. It's Packers game, right? Like 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
are we teeing up something Packers? Like, is that why?
It's random, guys. I'm sorry. I wish.
So, Tommy, can you email McD and Sparky? Take it out of rotation.
Say you do here. If you're not picking the music.
I mean, that's crazy. You can't even say that with a straight face. You, you are scum, Crosby.
Oh my God,
that's
that was
ridiculous.
I know you're on every show. You don't have time to pick the music anymore.
I don't have time to pick the music anymore. But Mitch, you wanted to bring up the Cooper Pratt deal. Go ahead, bring us in here, and I'll tell you some fun facts.
Okay. I mean, we only have a minute or two. Do we want to do Cooper Pratt right now, or do we want to save it? Because I think it's I think it's a longer conversation.
Sure, we can talk about it later. Let's just talk about Tiger Woods and all the pills he was taking whenever he crashed.
Right. I mean, does anybody believe Tiger Woods? Like, he might have been checking his phone.
Sure.
Like, he might have been looking at his phone, but he was definitely under the influence.
So who rides around with their like pills in their car? Like, how often do you need to take that? Like, was he away from the house for like a long time? Like, what's going on?
10 minutes. 10 minutes, probably every 10 minutes. He's just popping a hydrocodone.
Gosh, I feel bad for him. I just hope he can find that. Again, driver, the help he needs. Like, go and get help to figure this out, because
he needs help.
I mean, he's got a long life ahead of him still. If he can just get this thing sorted out, you just hate seeing anyone go through that.
Real quick, Mace, to switching topics completely. John Kuhn asked me this at the end of 9 to noon today. On a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you in professional flag football?
Not much at all.
-2.
Yeah. Right. Like, again, I'd probably like watch it and then be like, not interested. It's like watching pickleball on TV. Like, I'm not sure.
Right.
Like, I like playing it, but I'm not gonna sit around and watch pickleball all the time.
I actually put on pickleball like 2 days ago, and I was nice. I watched a couple points, and then I was like, I'm good. Like they're great athletes.
Oh yeah,
like they will be with flag football. But like I feel like I agree. I don't know why they're trying to stuff it and make it happen.
I do like that women's flag football is making a big jump. Like, seeing it in
that I agree with.
Yeah, in high schools and schools, it's really cool seeing that making a move here.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. All right, in the 1 o'clock hour, we will talk a little bit about Cooper Pratt. We're also going to talk about, like, the kindness of our show, maybe the kindness of our show in Europe, going to watch the Packers play a game overseas. That'd be fun if we all did that together, right?
Yeah, let's just make that a point. Let's make sure.
Let me get my ed policy extension first.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, I'll talk to Sparky for you. So plenty more to get to here on the Mason Crosby Show. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Mason Crosby. We are the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
What's up? What's up? Welcome to hour number 2 of the Mason Crosby Show. And as a nice lady said, we are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Hour number 2, that was fun in the first hour. I really enjoyed what we talked about there. Got after each other a little bit. Some people engaging that had wrong numbers at times. So appreciate everyone jumping on. Tommy, what are we diving into? We've kind of jumped all over the place here.
I think everyone had a good time except Mitch Thunder Nellis, who's not ready to.
Did he head to the
back.
beach? Where is he at?
Maybe he's going to Pickles early. Well, he'll be right back. He'll be right back for sure. But I will say, I think this ed policy conversation is very interesting, and I think that with what we saw out of the recent report coming from our guy Ryan Wood over at the Green Bay Press-Gazette, he is in Phoenix, by the way, if we were remembering where they are now for these meetings. They are in Phoenix. He had asked ed policy if he was aware of the decision to extend Matt LaFleur before the Bears game. And yeah, it sounds like ed policy gave him a multi-year contract extension before that Bears game. All the stories about him coaching for his career, coaching for his life, there was no accuracy to that whatsoever. Certainly knew it well before that Chicago playoff game that an extension was going to get done with Matt LaFleur. And I thought that was a little premature maybe to think that at a point.
Yeah, and didn't I see he kind of made a point to say that this extension wasn't like a contingent on, success or like doing things a certain way or whatever. It's like, this is just a full faith extension. Like we like how you're doing it. We're operating this way. Let's move out here for the next 3 or 4 years. That's the dumbest
thing I've ever heard.
Didn't he say that?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Mason.
I am curious.
Like, I'm just mad about that.
Like as listeners, as fans of like what's going on, do we agree that was deserved at the time? I still believe like it was the right choice to keep LaFleur and Goody in place right now. Like I don't think that was the wrong choice. I still disagree with the fact that like coaches should be extended just because that's how it's done. Going into your last year of your contract.
Well, and I have another quote here from Ryan Wood on Twitter. He's going to join Steve Sparky Pfeiffer today, by the way, at 2:20 on Wisconsin Sports Daily, if you want to get a little bit of a detailed response from it. But he has the transcript here.
Good get, Spark.
That any head coach is a teacher. Matt is a teacher. He's a natural at it. His parents were both teachers. Just watching him develop players as individuals, and more importantly, develop those individuals into teams the last 7 years, I've been very impressed with him. In particular, the quarterback position. Watching him, you guys were all here when he was getting, I would say, the very best out of Aaron Rodgers. Then he did a tremendous job of developing Jordan. And then you look at what he did with Malik over the past couple years. That coupled with the locker room supports him from Jordan to the rest of the locker room. I think you guys have probably all had a chance to talk to many of those guys. They support him openly, and they support him behind closed doors. I think he's the winningest in his time in the league as a head coach. I think he's the winningest NFC coach, and I think the third winningest coach in the NFL in those 7 years. Frankly, the fact I was being asked is firing him even an option at that point, I was a little bit shocked by that.
Okay.
I hate everything about that. And except for that, his parents are teachers. Like, I actually think that's admirable, and I think that's great. But I don't see it. I don't see it on the field. I don't see it translated that like he's lifted the Packers. He did great with Malik. No doubt about it. Nobody can debate that. But like as a team, Like we just heard from LaFleur that like guys were mad about their roles. Guys didn't know what they were doing. Guys were confused. Guys were upset. Like that sounds like the worst teacher I've ever had.
Yeah. I actually like a lot about LaFleur and like his operation of like how it goes. And I do think I think for the most part, obviously guys were upset about certain things, but as far as the, like how you like day to day in Green Bay, Wisconsin, going to the facility and all that, it's not a bad situation. Like, I think you feel pretty good and confident and comfortable going into that space, which I'm going to say this, like that doesn't always like go towards winning. Right. Like I almost think it's maybe too comfortable at times. I think like there needs to be a little more accountability and demand, and like maybe that like teaching needs to step up where it's like, we're teaching you, you better grasp it, or this is not going to be a place. And I will argue a little bit that we keep seeing draft picks going other places. Like the guys that come in and that are having success that when I was there and now, or were a lot of guys that came from other places. You bring in Zadarius Smith and Preston. Now who are the best players on offense? Yeah. Jordan Love's been there. Josh Jacobs. Like you're bringing in other guys from other places. McKinney on defense. You get rid of Quay Walker. You bring in Micah Parsons. Yeah. You get rid of Rashawn Gary. Like, I'm not sure. I totally agree. And we keep hearing this like quarterback development. Like, I think Jordan Love learned so much from Aaron Rodgers. Like, and the staff that they put together for LaFleur when he came in was a veteran, like established, like good staff. We talked about this yesterday. We got to go back to day one with like, you know, what we do on the, you know, in the playbook and all of those things. And I'm just like, this is now his staff, right? These are his guys. The staff that he had when he first got there was more like was elite compared to the staff that he has at the moment, I feel like.
So I have two questions for you. Number one, based off what you just said, do you think Matt LaFleur gets more credit for where Malik Willis is in his career than he does for where Jordan Love is in his career?
See, I have a hard time of like even like looking at head coaches right now as it's hard to even say like they're hardcore developers of players. Like you don't have a lot of time like in the off season on all of that. So like these guys have to understand concepts. They're learning and they're working on a lot of things outside of the building. They spend more time right now outside the building than they do in the building for the next, 6 months until they get there in training camp and things like that. So it's somewhat hard. Maybe he taught the concepts and like put a plan in place for Malik Willis that was really positive for his skill set. And then Malik Willis, in my mind, I'm like, you put the work in, through all this. Like I wouldn't say they developed me there. They didn't develop, like Aaron Rodgers put in a lot of work on his own. He understand conceptually what they were trying to do. He'd be in February, March, April, May, June, July, going into training camp. He's working on his craft on his own. So developing quarterback, I don't know. Like, yeah, I think Jordan Love was a product of like good draft, like smart getting him while Aaron Rodgers was still there, letting him sit, developing behind that. And Malik Willis was, you got to give LaFleur credit for putting plans in place to like use his skill set wisely. We will see if Malik Willis is developed now that he's gone to the Miami Dolphins.
And then
that's the question. If he doesn't go to Miami and have success, then do we go back and say, well, did LaFleur actually develop him or did he just have a good scheme while he was in the building?
Yeah, makes complete sense. And then another one that I'm not trying to bait you in anything, but when you think of traits of Matt LaFleur with your interactions with him, does teacher come to mind?
That is not necessarily like the traits. Like I do think he has a good football mind, and he puts a lot of thought and development into his schemes and all of those things. but I do I know some of the nuances and changes of schedule and things like that. Like there were always questions, around what was going on. And so, yeah, I would not say teacher is what I would put Matt LaFleur. I wouldn't put him in that bucket. As far as a football coach, I think he's a really good football coach. And he knows what he's talking about, and he knows the X's and O's of the game, and like how to get guys in the positions they need to be in and do all of those things. But like Mitch said, how do you call someone a good teacher when the biggest issues were communication, trust, and guys not doing what they were supposed to on the field? If guys are running the wrong route, you're not teaching the right way. If guys are missing assignment, I remember that was always one of the red flags were mental errors and missing assignments. Like you'd always put those up. And the number of those were always a little bit alarming at times under Coach LaFleur, more than Coach McCarthy. Like I would say Coach McCarthy is more of a teacher than LaFleur is.
Yep. This is the Mason Crosby Show. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. Your thoughts on the report today that Ed Policy, the Bears game and the end of the season had no bearing on the fact that he was signing Matt LaFleur to an extension. He had made his mind up far before that. So I think it's like, and I used to question Ted Thompson all the time about, did he do his full job? Did he do his due diligence? Because it felt like he didn't look at free agents ever, and he always believed in draft and develop. And I felt like that was part of his job, and he did that job really well, but he did the job of free agents really poorly. My question to Ed Policy would be like, if you knew that you were bringing LaFleur back by week 4 or week 6 or week 8, like why let the possibility of disaster at the end of the season jade the situation where Packers fans are going to question the move of bringing back LaFleur? If you knew he was going to come back the whole time, if you were going to sign him, why not get with his agent in week? And now maybe LaFleur.
As soon as Micah Parsons got hurt in Denver, if I'm in a leadership position and I knew I was extending him, I would have extended him right there and announced it, made it clear, like whatever happens here is like we're extending him. This has been a good season. We're in good hands. We're moving forward. Because yes, I totally agree. Public opinion changed in those last 5 games from what it was throughout the course of the season.
And frankly, like for Ed Policy to come out now and say this, like I think Ed Policy's an idiot. like he might be really smart, but you can be dumb at something or do something dumb or communicate something poorly while still being a smart individual. I'm sure Ed Policy's really smart, but in this case, I think he messed up. I think he screwed up royally. I think this is egg. I think this is still to this day egg on the Packers' face because I believe it led it to the Bisaccia situation. I believe it led to like not knowing what's happening. I believe it led to we still haven't heard from Jonathan Gannon, and we will at some point. I get it, right. But the whole thing is so poorly run, and it's from Ed Policy. And I know that like they all like to hug each other and lead with kindness when they're in their ivory tower in Green Bay. But at some point, like this is going to tumble a little bit because they're not doing things the right way.
Well, we talk about communication all the time, and like the Packers do it better than anyone. Of once they make a decision, they will lean into it, and they won't give you any kind of opening to it not potentially being the decision that they intended to make, right? Like they're never gonna backtrack or like give question there, right? Like they're always going to make the decision. They lean into the decision. They either won't talk about it or they lean hard, like Ed Policy just did now, where it's like, no, this was a plan all along. Again, but your point is so valid where if that was a plan all along, extend him before the season. Like you knew, like extend him halfway through the season, be like, hey, we're having a great year. We've extended Coach LaFleur. We're rolling this thing out. It doesn't matter. It's like, we're good. And I think everybody would have been like, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like this team is doing fine.
I would have needed follow-ups to Ed, like, all right, so what would have Matt LaFleur needed to do to not warrant it? Like if you had missed the playoffs, and I think Ed Policy's like, because they did miss the playoffs. Like they played a playoff game where they were like, it almost would have been less painful for them to not make the playoffs than to do what they did against the Chicago Bears.
Maybe
so then, like,
seeds.
So what 6-11? Like what would LaFleur have had to do to not get an extension? Because if the plan was to get an extension all along, what are we doing here?
I more really would have loved to see a bidding war happen, let this run out. And I would love to know how desirable he would have been to the rest of the league, right? Because there was maybe a little bit of smoke with Atlanta for a half a second there, and we really didn't hear much else. I think everyone kind of assumed that Matt LaFleur was going to be back, but still, looking at Big Mike in Dallas, right? He had to take a year off and wait for jobs again in another cycle, and they just let him run his course. Now, maybe he didn't have the same regular season success that Matt LaFleur had during that time, but I am curious to know that it seems like there was obviously there was mutual interest between Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers, and I don't know how much consideration he really had for any other job, but how desirable was he across the rest of the NFL, if that was the case too? And if Ed Policy is commenting like this because he wanted to assure Matt LaFleur that the Packers are very interested, don't look anywhere else, or if he had to make some sort of pitch to Matt LaFleur on why he should still remain the coach of the Green Bay Packers.
So you're thinking if he was desirable, you're thinking like Ed had to like kind of persuade him.
I'm wondering if that was the tone ever with those contract negotiations.
There were other teams that would have jumped and hired him immediately. For sure. Like he would have gone right to the top of the list.
Again, like he's proven to be like a head coach and to be able to build out staffs, and like they build teams and they are winning. Like we do have to look at it from that vantage point as well. Like this is not a bad situation. This is not like a cut everything up and like start over type of situation.
This is not a Doc Rivers situation.
No, yes, we're not talking about the Bucks right now. We're talking about the Packers, who they have a chance to go and do something every year, and Coach LaFleur gives them a really good chance with how he's structured and do all that. Like I do think so far from the interviews he's done at these owners meetings, like what we've played on the show, like I think he's understanding some of the things that need to be adjusted. And that needs to be, again, where policy talks about teaching, and like teaching starts with communication, right? Like if you don't communicate properly, it's hard to teach people how to do something. If everyone's a little confused. Here's a little nugget I want everyone to think about. Like, how would y'all feel? Let's just say Jonathan Gannon, you come in, you're the new defensive coordinator. And then they name a different defensive coach, the assistant head coach. Does he does he report to him? Like, is that like, what's the hierarchy there? I would put assistant head coach over a defensive coordinator if I just like saw those titles, right? So why, like, I get like the corporate structure, you got to give titles, you got to keep people around so you can kind of have that, that control of their contract in a sense.
Yep.
But if I'm Jonathan Gannon, I'm like, okay, like, so now I'm defensive coordinator, but I have another coach that's on my staff, like in his assistant head coach position. That feels odd to me.
Well, let me just ask a clarifying question. How was that with the player dynamic? Like, for instance, Rich Bisaccia was the assistant head coach this last year. Do the players see that as he's number 2 in command of this operation, or is it more of that position is meaningless to players?
It's pretty meaningless to players. Like, yeah, Bisaccia was special teams coordinator. Like, I don't think anyone was like, he's assistant head coach.
Matt's not available. I better go talk to Rich.
Yeah. I mean, it's like special teams guys. Like, yeah, I don't think an offensive lineman was going to be like, oh, like Matt, I can't go talk to Matt. So, I'll go to the assistant head coach. And
so I think that's your answer. Yeah. I think, Tommy, great job clarifying that.
But I think it's meaningful to coaches though. It's got to be like, it has to affect the coach situation.
Well, but Gannon knows that he's in charge of the defense, and that's it. Like, he is the head coach of the defense. And even if there's an assistant head coach on his staff, that's more of a hierarchy in terms of corporate jargon and pay scale and keeping a guy in-house as opposed to letting another team poach your staff. I think when it comes to I would assume and I don't know, but I would assume when it comes to the day-to-day of managing a defense, that Jonathan Gannon is the head coach of the defense. And even with an assistant head coach on his staff, like you report to Jonathan Gannon when it has to do anything with this. If it has to do with personnel, if it has to do with whatever responsibilities Matt LaFleur gives that coach, like some sort of reporting communication hierarchy, that could be a little different. But I think defense in a vacuum, Gannon's in charge. And if he's not, then the system's really broken.
Well, Jonathan Gannon, I would love to hear from him at some point.
No,
Does he
you
exist?
will not.
He's still on the bus.
He's still on the bus.
He's an AI generated coaching.
Trying to feel some fire in my gut.
What is Tommy? What's Ryan Reynolds when he played Buddy in that movie? He's what do they call those characters in video
imaginary
games?
Friend? Oh no,
who are just like the person running around.
Oh, isn't he they're
not
Ralph?
a player controlled
free
they're
guy?
Not a player
free guy?
Right,
guy.
yes. But what
he's in a simulation.
The character is called something. There's an initials that like characters in a video game who aren't controlled by a human.
He's just called
just
Guy.
Are they NPLs or I don't know? There's
NPCs.
NPCs.
Yes,
thank you. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jonathan Gannon.
Youth. You're welcome.
Jonathan Gannon's an NPC. We've got two topics.
We got there.
Yeah, we got there. We got two things to talk about in the next segment. I want to talk about Cooper Pratt. I also want to. I just got to bring it up. I believe we will never see Giannis in a Bucks uniform again. And I just want to start preparing everybody for that. And if I'm wrong, then we can all rejoice together that Giannis is still a Buck and we love Giannis and blah, blah, blah. But I just want to prepare everybody for that. So let's talk about that. And let's talk about Cooper Pratt signing the 5th biggest contract in Milwaukee Brewers history. Tommy Wirtz dropped that bomb on me earlier today. The 5th biggest contract in franchise history goes to a guy who's played 3 games at AAA. Is that what it is?
That's wild.
Amazing. Yeah, that is just fantastic. Great. This is the Mason Crosby Show. Yay.
That's what I expected.
I do want a new drug. Huey Lewis in the news, man. This guy owned the 80s. This is the Mason Crosby Show. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. Man,
I love some Huey Lewis. I love Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago's great. Peter Cetera.
Yeah,
let's go.
Peter Cetera. Let's go. I don't love Chicago. I love the band Chicago. Sorry, I should have said that.
Right. No.
Don't clip that. Get out of here.
I just clipped it. It's going everywhere.
You're the worst.
Do
you want anyone to listen to our show? You start plugging that I love Chicago.
You're the anti-Javon Bullard.
Javon Bullard comments, and then you clipped at the end. I love Chicago.
I love Chicago.
Some breaking news. Amari Stoudemire, Candace Parker, Elena Deladon, and our very own Glenn Doc Rivers among those elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2026.
Nice.
Finally, Shams with a report of actual news.
I feel like
nicely done.
This could be dumb me. I feel like Candace Parker's been inducted into the Hall of Fame 17 times. Like
she should have been.
Like why is she not in? And I also think that I've heard her being inducted many years before this, multiple times.
There's many. There are multiple Hall of Fames. Who knows? Maybe it was another Hall of
maybe
Fame.
It was a different one. But Mitch, I know you had brought up the comment of you think that this is Giannis is done playing as a member of the Bucks. In your mind, more likely, this at the end of the season, Giannis will never play another game as a Buck, or Doc will never coach another game as a Buck.
Which is more likely?
Yeah.
Doc is gone. More likely Doc is gone. I just like, I know Jimmy Haslam loves him, and I don't know his deal with John Horst, but it's got like they
I don't think it's about not loving Doc Rivers, right? Like what he's meant to the game and all that. I'm just saying, I don't think it's like
care, Mace. Like Haslam, if Haslam loves him, Haslam keeps him, because Haslam doesn't care. He just doesn't want to pay my people. He just wants to be as cheap as possible. He's done it with the Browns forever. He's made terrible decisions forever. Like, I just don't trust him as the
steward of this. Yeah, the steward of this organization. Yeah.
Yes, but I feel like it's got to be Doc, and maybe that's hopeful thinking, but it's got to be Doc.
He's a Hall of Fame coach.
Just stop.
Again, I'm like, there's no denying what Doc Rivers has been for
great
the
longevity.
Game. Yeah.
He won a championship 18 years ago. That's great.
With the stack team, with the original stack team.
Yeah. Just put them out there and let them do their thing.
Right. And listen, if the Bucks and the Pelicans both win the lottery and pick 1-2, and so the Hawks get the 1 pick and the Bucks get the 2 pick, and the Bucks bring in a new star who Giannis is excited to play with, like, there's a chance Giannis isn't traded. I just, barring a crazy situation in the draft lottery, I think the Bucks and Giannis are going to agree to a separation.
So you think that's what it's going to take? It's going to take it's literally a lottery situation here where if they pick out of the top 5,
because there's no other way to build the team. Like they
you
can
got to
get
have
rid.
a guy.
They can trade Miles Turner, but they're going to get pennies on the dollar. They can get rid of Kuzma and Portis. They can figure out do they get rid of AJ Green or do they get rid of KPJ? They can get rid of all sorts of players, but they're not going to bring in the type of talent that Giannis is going to look at and say, hey, we can really build a championship contender here. They can't. Barring a top 3 or top 5 NBA pick in the draft, they cannot build a contender next year.
Would you, in hindsight, not have done the Damian Lillard, Miles Turner situation, Mitch Nellis?
I probably would not have. I don't know enough about NBA finances to really break it down. That's why we have all of our Bucks podcasters and Eric Name and Jim Ozarski who really dive into that stuff. But I feel like it probably would have made more sense just to keep that Dame just to trade Dame or to keep that contract on the books and be bad this year. Knowing again that you don't have your number 1 pick, you have a pick, and knowing that the Pelicans are going to be bad, you're probably going to get a lottery pick. But knowing that, like, even if the Bucks decide to tank this year, that pick was going to the Hawks. Like, so tanking wouldn't have worked out for the Bucks the same way it's going to end up working for some other teams.
So who in this draft, like which guy do you think moves the needle for Giannis?
I mean, I think DeBonsa moves the needle from BYU. I think Boozer moves the needle from Duke. I don't know about the kid Peterson from Kansas just because there's a lot of talk about his work ethic.
Acuff.
I think Acuff from Arkansas could move the needle. And then there's a couple other guys. I don't think the kid from Tennessee moves the needle, but he's really good.
Yeah.
I would love to get him for the Bucks, but I think if he comes to the Bucks, that probably means Giannis is gone because Giannis is going to be like, he's not my Robin. Like he's good and he's a great freshman and he's going to get stronger and bigger. And he's a Chris Middleton type player, but not for 3-4 years. And Giannis doesn't have 3-4 years. Giannis, as a 31-year-old, unless he's going to pull a LeBron and be this good. And obviously LeBron isn't as good as he once was, but he's still really productive. Is Giannis going to be productive in that way every year for the next 7-8 years? Probably not. He probably has 3 or 4 more really, really good years. He's got to go win it. Like he wants to win a championship. I have no problem. Like go win your next championship. Like go do it. It's probably not going to be in Milwaukee.
Yeah. I mean, the NBA is changing. I feel like it's a little harder to imagine that you're just going to get traded to a team that you're going to go win a championship right away with. Like it's not what it used to be where it's, all right, we all want to go win a championship in Miami. Let's just, get LeBron, D-Wade, and, and get Bosh. And Bosh and get this team together, right? Like, I don't think that's how the NBA is set up as much as it once was.
Well, even a guy like Kevin Durant, who's been chasing a ring for years, like obviously he left the Thunder to chase a ring with the Warriors, worked out really well. But then he wanted to win one outside of Steph Curry's shadow, even though he won the NBA Finals MVP. And in Brooklyn, his big foot got in the way. But that situation devolved quickly. Then he went to Phoenix and thought he was teaming up with another big three, and that went sideways. Now he's in Houston, and Houston's really good, but they're not great. And so the question is, like, if Giannis went to an Atlanta, let's say, and Atlanta is all of a sudden up to the 6th seed in the East, like they add Giannis next year for not, and don't have to gut their organization. Could they be a top 3 or 4 team in the East? Yes. Could they win a championship? Yes. But if he stays with the Bucks, I mean, the Bucks are still fighting for that 6 through 9 spot. Yeah. Like even with a healthy Giannis this year, like the best the Bucks were going to be were like 6th in the East. Like they're just not that good.
But what's a team like? What will the Bucks accept from a team?
I mean, that young talent that's ready to play and lots of picks. Like they got to get 3 or 4 picks and they got to get 2 or 3 players. I mean, I still look at the San Antonio Spurs. Like, man, the Spurs have a lot of young talent and they got a lot of picks coming up. I mean, obviously we all know the Thunder would be great, but the Thunder aren't going to trade anything.
Well, so I just did a tankathon here, right? That's the simulating the draft lottery. And the Golden State Warriors just won it and they got the number 1 overall pick. Would that be something that you think, if Giannis was made available for the number 1 overall pick type thing to go to, I don't even know where he could go if he's going to get traded, but Golden State, there was smoke for that at the deadline. And I think that if the Warriors won the lottery or found their way into the top 4, like that pick would be on the table for a trade with Giannis.
I agree. I think the Warriors. Yeah, I agree. The Warrior, and there's a number of teams that if they got a top 3 pick, they would want to trade with a package for Giannis, and you're not going a whole lot else besides a top 3 pick, even a top 5 pick. Maybe you are. I mean, listen, if the Bucks end up with the 7th pick and then trade Giannis for the number 2 pick and 2 other players, all of a sudden you've got the 2nd player, the 7th player, and 2 young players, and you put that with Rollins. You put that with and then you try to figure out what else you need to put together, knowing again that you have $15 million every year less of money to play with because you cut because of the Lillard situation. It's not going to be easy, and I'm glad I don't have to have more job as much as I want it. Are we
excited about the Bucks without Giannis? I mean, what?
Are we excited with the Bucks with Giannis? Like I don't think there's a future.
I think if Giannis is healthy and playing, yes, I'm more excited. Like definitely
but,
every
but
day.
again, there's still a
Excited about
6
the
through
Bucks.
9 seed.
Still
But
more
again,
excited.
there's still a 6
Still
through
more
9
excited.
seed. They're
I'm
not fun
still
to
more
watch.
excited
when
about
he
the
played
Bucks.
this year, when he played this year, Mace, they were not fun to watch. Even in games he played, they were not fun to watch.
But you also talk, Haslam and the business, Giannis moves that business forward. So why
does,
would
but less
he
and
as an
less,
owner
like,
want
if
to
they
get rid
suck-
of their bell cow?
I know, but if they suck, that fewer international companies are going to come calling for a Giannis endorsement if your team's 500.
No, I mean,
I don't know. So we'll see. All right. So I'm on board.
Glad I don't have to make those
I'm on the
decisions.
record. Right. I'm on the record. I don't think he plays another game with the Bucks, barring some crazy draft lottery situation. All right. I do want to get into Cooper Pratt. 414-677-1250 is the Nikolai Law Talking text line. If you want to chime in on whether you think Giannis will play another game in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform, whether you think it's good for the franchise or not, if he does. Cooper Pratt yesterday, I don't think it's official yet. Have we seen the press release?
It's not. That's something that actually they don't really do contract extension talk with media and whatnot here, but sources all from the big journalists of John Heyman and Jeff Passan. Everyone's talking this is a done deal, a Cooper Pratt extension.
8-year, $50 million deal. He's a AA shortstop. He is one of the top prospects in the organization, and the Brewers wrap him up. And Tommy, during one of the breaks, you read to me the top 5 contracts in Milwaukee Brewers history. This isn't the 5 players who've made the most, because I think Brandon Woodruff has technically made more than $50 million, but he's done it in separate contracts. This is a single contract. You asked me, and I said right away, Braun and Yelich are 1 and 2. Or 2 and 1.
Top 5 largest contracts given out for total money purposes in Milwaukee Brewers history. Number 1 is Christian Yelich, who signed a $215 million deal. Ryan Braun signed a $105 million deal. Jackson Chourio is 3rd with the $82 million deal. Lorenzo Cain had an $80 million deal. He is 4th. And number 5, Cooper Pratt's $50.75 million is the 5th largest contract in terms of total money the Brewers have ever given out.
I have a question about as a young player like that, a high prospect, a lot of upside, it's why would you sign an 8-year contract?
Well, he already has the team control. So the team has control of you for 6 or 7 years. I can't remember what it is. During that time, once you are signed to the team, there is team control and service clocks that start up for the major league club to get you up there. And you are already under these contracts that you're going to be making league minimums during that time. So he's
kind of all right, I'm already locked in. I might as well get a significant pay while I'm under contract anyway.
They bought him out. They buy out these arbitration years. Your service clock now starts once you get this extension. And there are 2 additional years of team options totaling up to $15 million at the end of this as well. If you are a guy like Cooper Pratt, you get a pay bump in your immediate years, and now you have a $50 million safety net for the rest of your life. I mean, that is a massive deal for anyone to have. The surprising part of this is you wonder if this was a priority by the Brewers or if this was swing and a miss on some of the guys that were above Cooper Pratt in their rankings, because they've already done this with Jackson Chourio. We read that, and that's the 3rd largest contract they've ever given out is his 8-year, $82 million deal. And I think that's going to turn out to be a steal in the long run based on the production they're getting out of Jackson Chourio. I wonder if the Brewers tried to do a deal with Jesus Madej or Luis Pena or Jet Williams, all guys who are in the deals, all in the rankings across Major League Baseball higher than Cooper Pratt, and wonder if they've settled on Cooper Pratt or if they prioritize him more than others in the organization.
What's the incentive from the organization to even do that if you have control for 6 to 7 years?
They bought out some free agent years at the end of it, and they have team option years. So if it is an investment, he could have hit free agency earlier now based on if the team control, they bought out more years of free agency at the end, and they are now gambling on, well, we'll get him a little bit longer than we would have under team control, and we might have him at a bargain at that point if he turns out to be a successful player. If you're an everyday shortstop and you
it's a speculation bet by the team, just
yes, same deal they just did with
But
Churio.
Mason, right. And other teams are doing it too. Seattle has a shortstop prospect that they just signed to an 8-year, $95 million deal. Now he's the number 7 prospect in all of baseball. Cooper Pratt's the number 50 prospect in all of baseball. The flip side of this, Mason, is we have seen numerous stars in Double-A and can't miss prospects in Double-A never make Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Like have a cup of coffee, realize they can't hang. I mean, I remember the key ingredient in the Brewers getting CC Sabathia in 2008 was Matt Laporta. And Matt Laporta played a couple seasons, was okay, but he was a can't miss power hitting outfielder who missed.
Yeah.
And that happens every year in every organization. And what if the Brewers miss? What if Cooper Pratt, who has struggled hitting at Double-A, and now he's he's 22, he's 6'4", he's a big guy, he's going to grow into his body, he's a great glove. He could end up being a really good, Cal Ripken, or he could end up being a guy you've never heard of again, and they got $50 million into this guy. I don't know, that's a big risk.
Yeah, I actually look at it from the team side as a little bit, more surprising than somebody, as a player saying well, they got my right. Sure, I'll sign for $50 million. I'll take $50 million right now. You got to, you're going to keep me around anyways. And you have all the options. So yeah, I look at it as an interesting decision by the Brewers, just whenever he's not just this, this prime prospect that is already, ready to play and ready to roll.
And real quick, something to chew on. I know we're got to get to break and get to Mason's extra points. I wonder, not necessarily with Cooper Pratt, but with some of these guys, you give a guy this young, this type of money, I wonder if the hunger stays. I wonder how much of a mental evaluation you have to do on some of these players. Because I just gave a 21-year-old a guaranteed $50 million contract. What am I staying hungry for? What I think there are some guys who are built I'm going to compete at the highest level no matter what. But I think there's other guys who are man, I love Call of Duty. Man, I love,
that's
Kyler
a good point.
Murray loves his video games.
Because at this point now,
right? What are you
it's
hungry for?
He's I'm getting that money whether I, make it or not, right? I'm whether I come up to the big leagues and have success, and if once I make it in the big leagues, I'm not getting a bump in 8 years. That's right. My number. Or
potentially 10 with those
with the 10, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now that could be $30 million more, and maybe he wants to fight for that. But I don't know. There's a lot to talk about here, and this is a constant conversation that we'll probably have throughout the season, especially as we watch how Cooper Pratt develops at Double-A into Triple-A, and maybe in the majors even this season yet.
Yeah, it's just again, from the Brewers' perspective, whenever they're pretty tight, and they're not willing to go and chase after those major free agent and those prospects, to do something like this it's a little interesting for sure.
I do wonder what Willie Adames and Freddie Peralta think about that when they see these they see these deals. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. In Mason's extra points, we're going to get inside Mason's head when we come back here on the Mason Crosby Show.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis.
Tell me what's on your mind.
On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Mason Crosby Show here today on this beautiful Tuesday. Mitch is ready to go over to Pickles and have a beer for all of us. I hope you enjoy it, buddy.
38 Beach Blonde, baby. Let's go.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Oh, so good.
I'm watching this Italy game right now, so we'll see what happens there.
How are we looking?
It's tied. They don't look good. I mean, Italy not qualifying like already for the World Cup is kind of surprising. So, but they've been a little off for a couple of years. USA plays tonight. If anyone's interested.
Oh, they don't even need to qualify.
Their kits look great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they would qualify this year with how they've
Didn't
played.
They get crushed against Belgium?
They have not been playing great. So, so I'll be watching that. Yeah, we got softball tonight for the girls for my twins. Yeah, Felicity and Christine. So I'll be out there coaching. I was third base. We were working on looking and running last time, but hey, we almost got a win. It was 8-11. We had a 5-run inning, which was awesome. So finding our way. We just got to work on you know how it is, Mitch. Getting that, like, fielding the ball before you go and try to do something else with it. Like, it's so funny seeing I'm just stumbling over the ball, and I'm like, just catch the ball and then throw it to
just
first.
Catch the ball and then throw it. Exactly. Woody on the mound tonight. We'll see if the Brewers can get back into their winning ways. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. Mason Crosby. We'll see you tomorrow on the Mason Crosby Show.
Let's go to Pickles.
I was